Welcome back, everybody. This is coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship Qualifier. I am into round 4 of the competition. So as you can see, this is my name here in the center. That's where I started off. And just for fun, we'll do one of these. There, I started off against that opponent, Andrew. As you can see, I defeated Andrew, but the footage didn't make it. So unfortunately, didn't have anything to post from that, but I do advance over to the next round. This match was one that I did feature on the channel. You can check out the card up top, but it was against this gentleman here, who played me in this bracket slot. And then I advanced over to the next spot and played against another opponent. And unfortunately, this particular individual was not interested in being recorded. And so I had that match and played really well. Lots to say there, but can't really get into too much detail because we're going to talk about this other match where, as I said, it's round 4. And I'm really excited about this one because there is some good play in there, and he's a very good, kind of level-headed, experienced opponent. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of get the video going here without any further ado. But really excited about this one. Big table action, and it's the same as the other, Masters format, right? Where you lag, and then the winner of the lag can choose the game or to have the first break. Just get my camera a little smaller here. This is Tony. I've gotten to know Tony a little bit since moving to Ohio. He's got a lot of cool little hobbies. He's a photographer, cyclist, and yeah, really great guy, and a very good pool player, as you'll see. And so yeah, he should be, to make it through to this final knockout round. And what I mean by that is this is the last round where your double elimination comes into play. They had 48 total players. I feel like I mentioned this in the previous video of the qualifier, but they had 48 total players. Split those up into 3 16-player brackets, and they did sort of a shuffle approach where if you lost your match in your bracket, then you got knocked over to one of the others to play against a different pool. I'm not really sure why they'd made that decision, or if that's kind of a common thing, but it is what it is. Ran into Tony, and I can't remember really thinking about, okay, this is my last chance to lose. It's this sort of thing that can worm into your psyche when you're playing at this level, against this kind of competition. And certainly here, you've got to feel like if Tony figures out the 7-6 cluster situation, that he could just break and run, which would be tough. But yeah, it's a really cool format, mix of 8-ball and 9-ball, unless you start with 9-ball and just kind of run out the set. He got a good nudge on the 7-ball, but maybe not quite enough. I wonder if the play was to nudge the 7 out to have a look at the 6 and leave the 7 there to still be able to make it. Options are going to be kind of limited. Offensively, he could go for the 1 in the side and send the cue ball around. Maybe there's a path to break into them. He could try the back cut on the 7 into the 6. It's pretty aggressive, especially early on here. That can bode well for later. Looks like he might go after it. I don't mind it because it's so early in the set, for the reason that if it works out, things are gonna go your way. You're going to kind of create some momentum. It's also maybe a bit of a two-way, right? Where he knows that if he makes it, he's going to come away with some kind of look at something. If he doesn't make it, then the 6 is hanging in the pocket. But I was coming in feeling pretty good. First few matches went really well. They were all sort of in the range of 7-1, 7-2 in my favor. Opening up here, I don't know if I have a shot at this 14. Can't really send that anywhere. I can get a piece of the 12, but scratch is on if you try to send that up to the bottom left. Safety play might be to just a simple safe to sort of keep him down table, maybe come off the 14 and leave the cue ball down here, away from the 6, leave him long on the 1, if there's even anything on the 1. That's probably the most conservative, simplest play from here. I wouldn't mind something like that. You just really don't want to drop him on the 6, and you certainly don't want to open up the 7 anymore. Looks like I'm coming off the 12, and I want to try to put him behind the 10, which is hard to judge. I get pretty close though, huh? Really not off too far from the mark. He doesn't have a look at the 1. I feel like he's blocked on the 1. He probably has access to the 7, if not a shot on the 6. Now that I'm looking at it, he might be able to get, ooh, the line's not good, but he might be able to get between the 8 and the 7. If he can get into the 6 ball, then maybe he stuns out for the 1. Come out and across if the 1 goes in the side. I set my camera up on a tripod on the adjacent table, right at the side pockets. You can see it's pretty well centered, but the height wasn't really there, and it's because they have these low hanging table lights. Looks like he's going after the 1 ball, maybe the back cut on the 1 to the bottom right, at a very low pace. Trying to hold the cue ball, I guess. This is a good opening. I have to figure out the 11. I'm on the 14 right now, but I don't really have a way to get into the 11 straight away. Looks like I'm going to go up table, come off the 14 and work through the 12, 10, and 9, and then come back down with the option of sending the 13 or the 15 at the 6. Leave the 7 blocked and put the cue ball down table might not be a bad play. I could get into the 13 right now and send it at the 6, but then I think you risk coming across table, and then you leave them on the 1. I think I was checking my line though, because I think I remember this actually. I think I want to get straight on the 13 so that I can try to play the 13 through the 6, landing either on the 15 or the 11. If that cooperates, then I get out from here. Be a good way to snag this first rack. I have experimented a little bit, thanks to Adam Marr, for the Blackmagic app recommendation. I've been experimenting with that a little bit, and there is a way to fix the exposure and the focus on the camera app that way. And with just the Pixel phone that I use out of the box, there's no way to set both of them. Got a little more out of this than I anticipated. You could see me kind of tap the table. I'm on the 15. Playing safe is pretty touchy here, because you can't really thin the 15 and hold the cue ball on there. I probably have to, or well, I wouldn't say have to, but I think I'm going to consider sending the 15 at the 6. And you could make it, but I'll probably put draw on the cue ball, which means I'm pulling the cue ball away up above the 8, and then it's hard to get shape. Hit that pretty good. You could see the sort of action on the 15. Hit it full enough on the 6 and with some spin to sort of transfer and send it through. But yeah, I think the intention was to have the cue ball slide across so that I would be in here. But with that much draw, you're always gonna come. Yeah, I'd have a hard time gauging that. But all that to say about the Black Magic app, that in future videos, when I start recording again, whenever that is, I will have a way to... Oh, you don't want to do that. I will have a way to avoid that sort of blowout of the exposure of when I walk in front of the camera, that the white balance gets all jacked up. I think we just handed this one back. He's got to play the 7 from here. Pretty natural to get on the 1. The 8's just sitting there. Yeah, I think he's just holds his nerve and he wins this one. Yeah, good play. Good stroke. You know, he wasn't scared of it. He was willing to roll through, and he knows that he's got shape on the 8 ball. Pretty natural. Look how still. Yeah. Elbows locked. Good shooter. You gotta love that about pool, man. It's just at any age, somebody can sneak up on you. There you go. Can't relax too much with Tony here. The other thing was the mental game. I'm just feeling relaxed. I'm not letting it fluster me. The first game, big deal. Had an opportunity and I played a bad shot, and it's like I'm supposed to lose that one kind of thinking, which may not be healthy. But very good break. Lost the cue ball a little bit, and there's sort of a complication with the 4 and the 12, I'm guessing that is. But nothing too crazy. It is take what you make. So he's got to go with the stripes. And there's not a great opening shot on the stripes, outside of some big distance on the 15, which is sort of hanging in space. Is he going safe, or is he trying to roll this 9 ball all the way up the rail? That'd be ambitious. No, he just wants to hide me down here. I might be on the 5. I have to figure out the 4 ball if I'm trying to get out. I think in a situation like this, I would rely on my shot making and just go after the 5. And okay, so here I'm looking at the 7. If I get good on the 7, then I can use that line to go into the 4 and develop that. Open up the 4, land on the 2, or land on the 4, something like that. And then smooth sailing, theoretically. Until you create some problems for yourself and then you don't end up getting out. I know you guys love that. Pretty good. Got a lot out of it. But I like this because I get nicely up table. I'm on that line with the 7. Go after my problems early. It might have been nice to clear out the 1 and the 3 and get a little tidier on the 7 to deal with the 4, because I have some distance now. And as I mentioned in my previous video, the tables were recently recovered, but the pockets play a little funny. Yeah, I just missed that one. I think I just played it into the near point. And it sort of bobbled out. But that's just a miss. And an unfortunate miss because it solved his problem. He's immediately on his trouble ball. Yeah, that's no good, Anthony. You can't do that. He just needs to get up and out. I mean, center table's great from here. That'll do. Not sure if that's really where he was playing to get, but there's a lot of open space here and a lot of options. I don't know if he's on the 11. You'd love to shoot the 11 from here, but it might be way too thin if it even goes past the 6. He's on the 13. You have to believe he's got that cut angle on the 13 from here, but again, you know, you might worry a little about the shape. Maybe you roll in the 13 and then he lands on the 11 in the bottom center. got the 10, but that might be a little intimidating from here. Yeah, he's just got to bear down on this one. It's also awkward queuing on the rail. Is he gonna roll through this one? Yeah, same thing, kind of got away from him like it did with me. Very similar shot. And gets away with it to some extent. I mean, there's not a great option for me. Don't know if the 3 goes through the 6 and the 9 down here. And I don't think I have access to the 7. Maybe the 3 goes. Might have to just roll the 3. You don't want to just roll it in, I guess, because it's not going to block the pocket for any reason. Hard to get safe from here because you roll into the 1 and you're maybe going to sell out the 15. I think I'd probably just commit and take a big shot on the 3. Try to go kind of easy on it. Not sure why I wanted to stay up there. Maybe the 1 goes past the 9? It'd be ambitious to take that after the 3, but nonetheless, come away with a miss on that one. And I guess part of the thinking was to keep him up here if I miss, although I don't know, I'm not playing like that so much anymore. Not sure why I hit it like that. Maybe to stay on the 7? Yeah, I'm not sure. Just guessing. He's on the 15 and he could float down. It's kind of rolling into the 8 and the 7. Hard to hold that. He's going to try to get on the 11 or the 13. Now he's missing that. Try to hold it for the 13, I guess. I need to win a game. I need to get this one. I think I'll probably pick up my tempo a little bit from here. Because there's been a little bit of back and forth. There's been a couple more innings in this particular rack. I want to really double check to make sure I land good on the 6, but little angle to come out from the 1 to the 7. These can get away from you though. These rail shots where I might try to spin away from it. If you just go in with a natural cut, the cue ball's gonna want to come out, right? Going low right spin on the cue ball to come out and try to pull away from it a little bit. Or you just kind of ease this in, maybe a little of both. Take a bit more of a shot on the 7. So I'm gonna reset to get comfortable. And play it a little fuller on the 1 to slide it up the rail. This looks pretty good. I think I'd have to just roll the 7 in to drop on the 2. But then it's really natural from the 2 forward to the 8. Yeah, play the 7 really full. Pick a good line on the 4. You can see the tempo pick up a little bit, and it's just in response to the innings, but then it's also a response to his pace. This works. Pick my line. Now you want to be up by the 3rd diamond. High ball will take you there. A little inside takes you closer to the long rail. Play into the big part of the window. Yeah, that works. works. Something I have not worked on very much is my 8-ball break shot on the 9-foot table. Yeah, well, clearly. And that happened a couple times in the last set too. But I think even when I'm not trying to bludgeon people with the cue ball, I don't have a great feel for the 8-ball break on a 9-foot table. It's interesting though, because I'll watch pro matches sometimes and they're not really consistently making the ball either. I think when it's a hand-racked game of 8-ball on a big table, there's just too many variables. He's got a lot to think about here. The stripes look pretty good. If nothing else, it's the 2 and the 4, 5 and the 6. As long as he gets a good opening shot on the stripes. I don't know if the 13's in play or not. It would appear the 13 is in the kitchen. But if his opening shot is, yeah, maybe the 11 ball here, or maybe the 15 here. I might go after the 15 to get on the 14, or the 15 to get on the 9 to the 14. Something like that opens it up pretty well. Cue ball in the kitchen gives you some good options here, even though he's got to deal with distance. He probably just rolls this in, right? 11 ball. Oh. Hand it back. But kind of gets away with it again. Shuffles them around a little bit, and what am I left with? Bank on the 3. Long rail shot on the 12. Or similar on the 7. Long center table shot on the 15. They're all tough. Hit the 6 balls here. Go after that, but no future. Gonna shape like a weird 2-4 combination after that. I might just take this 3 ball. It's probably the most makeable of the lot, and then at least I get down into the center of the table and I can start to make some decisions after that. Should be pretty natural. Bit of outside. Speed matters. Cooperated. A little flirty with the 8 ball, but it's okay. 2-4 is still a problem. I think as long as you play the 6 properly, you can get back on the 5, so maybe it's not as bad as I thought. The 7 puts me on the 1 ball right now, but it's still not a great way to get to the 2-4. You just don't love that combo, do you? On the 2-4. It's too thin on the 2 ball to send it up above the 4 like that. I'm gonna play this to try to get across table. There's not a lot of rail to work with. Maybe the play is just make the 1 and get into the 4 and the 2. If there's a back cut on the 4, that could play pretty well. Those can be touchy when you sort of play the cue ball into the point like that. It's worth practicing though if you guys haven't set it up for yourself on your home table or your club table or anything. I would recommend it, because then you can really get a feel for how much of the rail you need near the point and what the cue ball's likely to do. know if the back cut is there on the 4. Or if I'm just playing safe, kind of roll him down there. Oh, I don't mind that play. That's pretty good. I think the intention was to sort of pinch him between the 2 and the 4, and I got pretty close. It's a good conservative play. Just kind of control things and opens up the 2-4 for me. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I must have given him a look at the 12. A shot at the 12. Look at that recovery shot. That's good. He's in pretty good shape now. I think the 11 goes. He's got to get good on the 14. It's not a lot of work to do from here. It's really just getting on the 14. You could shoot the 10, and then the 9, and then the 14. You kind of want the 10 as your key ball though, right? So he's going up table on the 15, maybe just a stop shot here, shaping the 13 in the top side. Should just be able to pop it there. Drift it off it a little bit. Should still be okay. Tough one. Kind of gets away with it again, right? With a miss, and he leaves me on top of the 5. I might have a piece of the 6. I don't think I have the cuttable edge of the 6, though. I don't think I have it. That just would have been too convenient. So thinning the 5 and putting him behind the 6 is really touchy, especially stretching across the table. I guess there's the, I don't know if I thought of this at the table, but I guess there's the kick and stick on the 6 and leaving him, you know, push the 14 away, leaving him behind the 5. I don't know about that, I guess, looking at it now, because there's a pretty good chance you give him a look at the 9 or the 11. I just want to give him a shot, I think. I think the intention was to come off the 6 and leave him behind the 5. Like, put him right up on the 5. Which is a good idea, but the execution was not there at all. I might have come away with some lucky position here by blocking the 14 with the 6. See what he does. I don't know if with a high inside ball he can get from the 10 to the 14. He might be able to get into the 5, but that doesn't help him too much. Overcut that. Gonna hand it back. Yeah, he's not happy with this. He's gonna hand it back. I have a good look at the 6. Just need to solve for the 5. Don't think I can get into the 14 from the 6. Break it out. So I might have to play from the 6 to the 4 and then use the 4 ball to break out the 5. I think that's what I'm looking at. Get below the 4, come up and develop the 5. knowing that the two ball remains there as a good key ball. That's a pretty good line on the 4. Come out and across, either into the 14 or the 5. This is playable. Just pick your line, decide what you want to go into. Looks like I'm going after the 5. Go into the 5 and send it up table. I'm gonna miss that 4 ball. That is also an option. Not the aspect of the shot that I thought would go wrong. Yeah, I'm not happy with that either. So he and I both had a sort of disappointing execution in this rack. And a slow going set to boot. We're not out of the woods. He's on the 10. The 11 goes in that same pocket, I'm pretty sure. But he has to get on the 14 at some point. I might be tempted to just go full into the 10, use the 9 to get on the 14. I think he tried to do it, but he didn't fully execute the stop shot. He might have to go into the 9 ball here and slow roll this in to stay on the 14. And overcuts it. I think it starts to get to him a little bit at that point, because I remember him saying something at the table, whereas before that shot he hadn't really said much of anything. But I think he let out like a "what am I doing" kind of comment. But I was starting to feel the same way about myself, honestly. Like I was missing some silly stuff and had trouble building momentum. Does the 5 slide in past the 14? Is there enough room? I try to just roll that down. I cannot count on Tony continuing to miss. I just play it down table. Interesting. So I just play it down and out to try to limit his options. Develop the 5 a little bit so that it's unblocked. Knowing that he's going to be under the 9, not much is playable there. Using the 4 to block the 14, using the 2 to block the 13. Maybe he's got an edge on the 11, but he's not going to do much with that. It's pretty sporty. It's pretty good defensive play. He's going to kick at the 9. When he's got a good hit on the 11. This is cool. It's aggressive. Man, good attempt. Look how close that was. Yeah, and he gets unlucky here, so drops me on the 2. So take a natural path here, speed control to get up above the 5. Make sure that you have the playable angle to get from the 5 to the 4. And I'm supposed to get out from here. Easy. Those are so easy to overhit. So yeah, that got away from me a little bit. Should be okay, but this is a rack of shoulds and should nots, and A lot of it's been on the not side. The play is you slide off this, you know, just kind of use a draw stroke, come across table into the top long rail, and back out for the 4. These are pretty comfortable for me, but I've been sort of shaky this rack, so let's see if I can put it together. Nah, I don't want it. Just decided I'm not gonna make them anymore. It's gonna hurt me. Surprising. Shaking my head. I gotta be doing some mental work up there right now. Can't imagine I get this back. I think he's got to make a good shot on the 14 to get on the 9. He's got work to do, but I like Tony to get out from here. Okay. Played it full. Slides that in to ensure that he lands on the 9. He's kind of straight on the 9. Does he have to go 11, 13, 8? The 13's not as comfortable a key ball as the 11. But he might have just sort of walked himself into it. He could sort of drift down to get onto the 11. Yeah, he wants to roll down. This is a good play. Confident. I wouldn't love the cut on the 13 from here, especially shooting off the rail. I'd rather shoot the 11, come out and up anywhere into here, and then you have a shot at the 13. It's an intimidating long shot. Or you let your stroke out a little more, and then you have the 13 in the side, but at least you're closer. At least you're kind of on the point. He's going after the 13, and then trying to come out and across for the 11. It's playable, but missable. Tough, man. Yeah, more body movement than we saw before. And I think yeah, kind of an unfortunate roll here to leave me right behind the 4 ball. It just seemed like either way, with a miss, I was going to land on the 5 or the 4. So in this case, I just need to play proper speed to slide up from the 4 and get closer to center table so that I can use the angle on the 5 to get back down for the 8. I'm not even gonna say should. Said it enough this rack. But I will say I know how to do this one. Okay. That's fine. And you can use the rail here, but the 11's such a big blocker. So yeah, I mean, I want to get down here. You could play into the 11, or you could just sort of draw straight back down. I'm going into the 11 just to keep my heart rate up. And I'm really eager to get out of that rack. Go with a head ball break. Lose my cue ball. But it opens up pretty nicely. I'd really love to get into a little bit of a rhythm here, so let's see what I have. Looks like one of each, right? No, I have stripes. Okay. Nine ball's the best opening shot. And potential to get on the 12 unless it's a little too steep into the long rail. So I might just play the 9 and drop on the 15, sort of a pinch draw to come back a little bit. If I put this one away, I'll probably find my stroke. Dug into it a little more than anticipated, but still played nice. I keep looking over here because I'm checking my window for the 12, and it's pretty big along the long rail. But you have to pay attention. You know, you want to make sure you end up in the right spot. Cameo by my dad. Roll down, just barely gets past the 3 ball. Looks like I want to use the 10 to get on the 12. Unless I can get down there now, I doubt it. I'll probably go from the 14 to the 10. Just running out of options, right? You could use the 12 as a nice key ball. I'm on the 11 now, so I don't mind using the 11 to get on the 10 to get on the 12, but the 14 is not a great key ball. That's the decision I have to make right now. So maybe I stay above the 10, use the 14 to stay above the 10, and then the 10 to get down on the 12. That's not bad. Just a stun run through. Pick a good line on this 12, right? I want to be intentional. It feels like I was a little sloppy with my window right there. I don't think I picked a specific spot. You want the angle on the 12 that's going to take you to the 11. Otherwise, you're just relying on a good roll. And I overcut it. So now I have to make a recovery. This would have been great, you know, get under the 12 so that you have this line. I can probably still recover from here though. With a low outside ball, you sort of spin the 12 in. It's a lot of traffic, but if I get around these, it's tracking towards the 11. It'd be a nice little recovery. Nice, sort of killed it. Withdraw. That one's got to feel good. Options with the 11. Rolling through this, you're going to increase your chances of missing the ball, and there's a lot of blockers. So yeah, I don't love that. You don't really want to try to stun out and across for the same reason. There's a lot of blockers here. I wonder if I just draw. If I just like draw the piss out of this thing and get down towards the center of the table, get past the 3. Honestly, anywhere into here, back by the cue ball, yeah. Go full into the 11, track this line, and then I should at least come away with a look at the 8. I think I'm dialed in now. Pretty good. Pretty full on the 11. Just to slide it in and keep that line cleaner. And now you just need to settle. Process the adrenaline. Cool. Yeah, a break and run in this kind of, man, look at the cue ball run. Little break and run and 8 ball. There's a lot that has to go right, obviously, like, you know, the break and position play and everything. The position's a little more forgiving on the big table, but this kind of lined up nice again. I see the 3-2 combinations there. I'm on solids. I have to take those. Do you just play the 5 ball now? Probably not, because there's not good shape. Unless you can go from the 5 into the 6 and then you have the 1. 3-2 combination is pretty natural. I want to open with the 1 and then get out around the 1, the 5 and the 6, I mean. I don't know if I got around onto the 6. I think the intention was to get on the 6 from there. Might have to accept the 3-2 combination now, but there's not good position. I must think I have the 6. Doesn't look like it. Yeah, there's not quite. 5 Pockets play pretty forgiving, but that wasn't quite there. Dad's filling in as water boy today. Tony's back and he's got an 11 ball. Maybe he plays the 13 into the 2 or through the 2. Well, he hit that pretty good and then it sort of rocked back. Did you guys see it? Sort of rolled back up on that ball. He was getting ready to slide across, but maybe he's got the top edge of the 13. Oh, maybe he has access to more of the 13 than I can see. Oh, something happened. Oh, cue ball went flying. Yeah, maybe he's got more of the 13 than I can see. Send it into the 2. Pretty close. Pretty darn close. But he drops me on the 3. Yeah, he's not going to love that. Interesting situation here. You'd be tempted to shoot the 3 first. You have to make sure you get good shape. Do I shoot the 3 and then draw away from it to get onto the 6? Or can I go between the 5 and the rail? Or do I just draw out a bit more? Yeah, I just kind of stun draw out to make sure that I get away from the 5. The 5 will pretty naturally take me to the 4, and then the 4 can roll down the rail, and then I just have to like pick a window for the 8. Which is kind of a cool, almost like a drill type shot, right? Like set up some blockers and then run this ball with follow down the rail so that you decide where you want to be. That'd be pretty fun to set up. I like drills. Some people just can't stand them, but I don't know. I've always kind of liked them. This is good. Played that pretty well. I got on the proper side of the 5 ball here. And now, yeah, I just want to pick my line. Basically, I'm looking at, I want to be straight on the 4, straightish on the 4. And it looks like my line is the 3rd diamond to make sure that I have enough room on the 8. Here's where something funky happens. I remember this. Because I was getting ready to make like a nice out, and I was like, all right, I know the speed. Like I'm just gonna like roll this down, and it's gonna be fine. Watch the 4 ball. Oh, nope. So my cue ball speed was fine, and the 4 ball was rolling straight, dead straight down the rail, and then it goes, and rolls off. At least I'm smiling about it at the table, but goofy. Something I had not noticed about the table until that shot. And then after that shot, I became keenly aware, ooh, that went in. Became keenly aware that that corner was a little high. I gotta tell my dad about it to process. All right, man, keep your mouth shut. Your opponent's at the table. He is totally fine to just keep me in ball in hand hell here. have to kick at this 4 ball. Probably the play is kick into it soft so that the 4 lands on top of the 13 and the cue ball tracks down table. And now I know the corner plays a little high, so I should be able to avoid a scratch. But you have to come into it with enough pace that it doesn't affect the cue ball speed or the cue ball path with a like raised corner. Let's see what happens. I think that's the play though, because I can't get into it from the short rail. The 13's in the way. I have to go into it from the long rail. Pick your spot. Roll into it pretty full and just try to put it on top of the 13. It's a pretty good speed. It's a pretty good result. Leave him on the 12. I'm gonna walk away feeling good about that. 4 ball's pretty blocked up. And yeah, he should be able to just sort of thin this and send me up table if he's got enough room. It's a good play. I guess a similar shot here. Kick into the 4. Kind of an easy speed. It's going to create some separation between the 4 and the 13. But if I keep him down table, then the 4 ball's open. And his options are still limited. Get into it. Nope. Close. I think that was the right play. Can't say for sure if the raised corner, you know, being off level or whatever, played into that at that speed. But yeah, he's got a good opportunity. Does he play the 12 off the 4 to open it up? Does he... He's not going after it right away, which is interesting. I guess the other play would be put the cue ball down here. Yeah, hear me out, guys. Put the cue ball down here, shoot like a stop shot on the 13, leave the cue ball between the 13 and the rail, and clear out the 13 so that I have to do some kind of weird kick at the 4, but the 8 ball kind of interposes with a portion of the kick. Could be something. I don't know if I would think of that at the table, but I'm thinking about it in the box here. You could also, you know, cue ball right here, come off this ball to open them up. Oh, by the way, these things are lifesavers, guys. This little, like, yogurt drink, not sponsored. Just like an authentic endorsement. Because I struggle with my caloric intake and, like, blood sugar when I play. And if I crash, obviously, like, I'm going to be a grumpy guy and not be able to play. So I need to snack, but I don't want to eat too much. This really is starting to sound like a commercial. I promise I don't make anything on products. So you got to eat a little something, but you don't want to eat too much to put you to sleep, to like weigh you down, and you have your whole sort of nervous system switch over. But having a little slightly sweet drink, like Chobani yogurt drink thing, they're called. They're really easy to get down, and they give me like a little perk, but it's more protein based than like simple sugars, and they've been working out great when I play for long periods of time like this. Obviously, like between matches, you want to get like a proper, you know, sandwich or wrap or salad or something good. I was having to bring bags of snacks, and then between one of my matches, I had like a cheeseburger from the bowling alley, which is about as bad of a decision as you might imagine it would be. Anyway, food-related digression aside, Tony's in an interesting spot here. Is he just attacking this 12? He tried to get into it. pretty close. Tried to just hit it full with a force follow. Not off by much. Kind of a little graze on the 13 might have opened it up. Alas, didn't get it. You can play safe again. Probably doesn't want to do it, but you could just get thin off the 10 and leave me down here behind the 8. Where he attacks the 10 and tries to come across table. What, twice to get into the 13? Or he's banking it. Interesting. You're not gonna love that. I wonder if the play was to try to leave it on top of the 4 ball, blocking it. This is funny though, because I can't, you guys know I love me some inside, but I don't want to shoot this with inside really. This is just like a high ball. It's thinner than it looks. Oh, I hit it too thin. And I'd almost, oh my gosh. Whew. Come on, man. That's so goofy. I think he was giving me a hard time. That's technically pool. Give me a shot. Oh, the 1 ball was looking so good. Maybe that's a new tagline for my channel, guys. On the snap, technically pool. I don't know. Make my own fun. Go ahead and scratch for him. Oh, I tried. I think there's a cool little safety exchange here. I think I do something cool to make up for the silly 4 ball shot where I tried to knock the 8 ball in. Got to kick into it. He's got to get around the 3. Pretty significant distance involved here. Looks like he's kicking into the long rail first. I would have a really hard time judging that. I have no idea how to do what he's trying to do. Unfortunate. But that's what I was hoping for. So, there's no 3 foul. But I don't have much of a shot to play the 1 right now. So what I decided to do is to shoot the 1 into the 9. Kind of half-hearted attempt at, pushing the 9 towards the pocket, but fully attempting to get the 1 near the 9 and keep the cue ball blocked behind the 7. And look at how they dress up. Nice little 1-9. And I challenge him with a pretty tough kick on the 1 here, because this line doesn't really take you there. You'd have to get real thin past the 8. I don't know. I don't know if it's even there. He's gonna try it. If he doesn't hit the 1, then he at least has to sort of kind of mix him up. Yeah, he gets all the way around it. And I'm just gonna grab this 1-9. Set it off a little bit from perfectly straight just to not have to cue over the 8. And not have to stretch too much. Luckily I can reach it without too much issue here. Take those. Better break, still, lose the cue ball a little bit, but the 4 and the 5 are not as terrible as they look, because you can play the 4 and then Oh no, sorry, this is the 8, this is the 4. My mistake. So yeah, even more so, the 4 and the 5 are not that bad. Now the question is, does the 5 go past the 8? He'll probably just play safe. Either put the 1 ball over by the 8 or the cue ball. Interesting, he's just kind of sending the 1 ball down. Puts it into the cluster. The 3's not in a great spot either. I should probably check to see if the 1-9 is wired in the side, the bottom side. But I don't know that it is. Just have to make a good hit here, probably get into this rail with some left spin. Got into it, and a reward maybe? Not quite. Hit it with some pace though to make sure that I'm sending the 1 far away. Kind of try to, you know, punt it up table. He has a back cut on the 1. The 2 ball's close to the center of the table, so he could let the cue ball run a little bit. Just wants to chip it, try to keep me away from it. But didn't let the cue ball travel enough. So I have an aggressive option of banking the 1. The cut is there, right? And then the cue ball's gonna go crazy back and forth. I might also consider just safe, like keep the cue ball here and send the 1 out and around. Put the cue ball under the 8. Try to slide it up the rail. Hit it too full. Yeah, give him a tap. Silly. Got lucky. Came out and across though. I would have landed close to where I am at to get on the 2. I will say that's a good tempo for me though, is I'm not burning a ton of energy overthinking that. I just picked something and committed to it. Aim was just slightly off. Oh man, speaking of slightly off, he was very close to making a good hit on that one. So I have to figure out the 3 ball. Maybe it goes past the 7. Do I have to look at a combo on the 3? Nobody wants that. Looks like I want to get out and around for the 2 in the bottom side. Pick your path here. Am I trying to roll through and come out and around? It's a lot of cue ball movement if I'm rolling through it like that. Otherwise I stun out and across. Okay. Yeah, the 4 ball slowed me down pretty good. Here again, aggressive bank option on the 2. Send it out and keep the cue ball close to where it is, and then I'm gonna come away with a look at the 3. Pretty good. It's hard to judge this one. A little awkward on the 3. 7 is off the rail. I guess that makes it a little more forgiving. 7 has a bit more room to go. Yeah, those are just so missable, man. Just like slightly overcut the 7. Handed back to him with things much more open than they were. I still don't know what the 5 ball is gonna do, but at the very least, he can stretch for this thin back cut on the 3. You should be able to make something happen from the 4 to the 5. Too thin. Yeah, I think he's feeling it a little bit, maybe just fatigue. It's a long day, guys. These matches take a long time. Like I said, it's round 4, but first day you're playing 2 or 3 matches, and they're all hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on the tempo. A little out and around action. Yeah, let me go right into the 7. I think I came away with a look at the 4. I don't know if I have the 4 in the top left. I might have to go bottom left. Back cut on the 4. Can I get out and around towards the 5? That'd be pretty cool. Probably attacking it, knowing them 5-1. Oh, I did try to, maybe that was a safe. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I pointed at the short rail like I was trying to get the 4 ball down there. Taking a break. I don't know if I actually cut this out. Let me check my line here. Nope, I guess not. Here we go. Nice. Gets up above the 5. Might be a playable bank. Probably just keep this firm to send it across. Yeah, it came out a lot farther than I thought it would. I think it plays past the 9. I have to avoid the scratch. You could send it at the 9 if you're crazy. I might be feeling a little crazy. That might be, I think this is the smarter play though. You just pocket the 5 past the 9 and roll through. The scratch is avoidable here, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I remember what I think about doing. I think about trying to shoot the 5 into the 9, but keep him behind the 7. And keep the cue ball behind the 7, which I don't really think is possible from here. It's just like a bad judgment. Yeah, it did not work out at all. Oh well. Notice his tempo changed a little bit, you know, just kind of frustration. Oh. Man, if he had left me knuckled up there, that would have been pretty unfortunate for me. But here, I'll take it. Good opportunity. Let's just make sure we get good on the 7 to get up on the 8. Nothing too crazy. Come across table, land straight on the 6. Roll down table to get on the 7 and go up that way. Pretty good. Sort of an angle to work with on the 6, so now I could draw off the 6 to come up, get above the 7 this way. I think the follow shot is still in play though. I could roll through the 6 to get below the 7. I think staying above the 7 gives me more options to get on the 8 though, doesn't it? Maybe not. I'm second guessing it, so I had to reset. No, I want to draw away from this. Get up and across it. kind of weird. Being closer to the shot line on the 7 would mean pure draw to bring it back up table. This is interesting. It's something I've been experimenting with a little more. I can reach the shot, but I'll use the extension just for a little bit of added oomph. Definitely comes through. You can definitely feel it. Just get sort of clean through that, straight through it. Yeah, that played pretty nice. Little breath to settle. Pretty natural shape here for the 9 on the side. Oh, I came too thin off the 8. That's okay. That is a shot too. That is also a shot. Man, not an easy cut on the 2, but it is playable. How nice would it be to close out the set with a little break and run? I forget. I don't remember how this one goes. Didn't cut on the 2, but you can let this cue ball run. Come up and down. Pretty good. Similar kind of stroke quality here to get below the 4. Yeah. Cut the 3, have the cue ball come up and out. Or even just straight into the short rail and back down. Underhit that. That's how you spoil a break and run right there. I don't know if it's salvageable. I don't know if the 4 back cuts. I'm just going right for it. I'm just going into it. I play safe. Yeah, oh well. Would have been cool to end with a break and run, but didn't get on the 4. Yeah, I just didn't get clean through the 3. It was there. It was there for sure. It's okay. This is also the game. I think he's got a pretty good option for a kick and stick behind the 7. Unless he wants to try to kick it in. Oh, there's a roll. So I just have to go into the long rail, see if there's a line to send the 4 to the bottom left. Using my system just to make sure. This is a pretty, I mean, it's a pretty natural kick line. Like you kind of know where this is without using a system. Good full hit. Doesn't want to go for me. Oh well. The intention, to be clear, the intention was to send it over here, but got into it pretty full and it came across the table. Tony's got a good opportunity to grab this one, but he's kind of backing away from him. Should be okay. Just get down below the 7, right? Bottom center. Wants to kind of float down. Oh, right on top of it. I think, you know, it's hard to judge coming off that ball, but I think you want to be down here, right? So just got a little funny being that close to the 4, and now he's close to the 7. Yeah. That's a tough outcome. This is just a bear down moment here. It's really natural shape to get from the 7 to the 8. Just check my window. Just make the 7 clean and let the cue ball roll. Keep your nerves in check, and you should be good to go. That works. Tony says that's good. Cool. Well, thanks, guys. Thanks for checking this out. Stay tuned. It gets really eventful. Not that it hasn't been. But just as a preview, and I'm actually curious, those of you who are sticking around, by the way, thank you for that. To those of you who are still here at the end, I really appreciate you for checking out all the content, sticking it out. But give me some feedback here, because the next match is the finals in my bracket. Obviously, I showed you the bracket, and I won. So yeah, I'm going to the finals. But I have to win the finals to go to the U.S. Amateurs Championship. I have the match recorded from the finals. It's extremely long, and by extremely long, I mean like in the order of 4 hours long. And so it's a lot of material, a lot of content. I am gonna have to break it up because there's no way I'm sitting through 4 hours of that again. Which means that I can release it as one 4-hour video, which I can't imagine YouTube would love that. I mean, they'll put it up for me, but what would you guys like to see as viewers, I guess, is the question. Do you want to see one 4-hour video, or would you rather see 3 videos chopped up, as portions of that, or 4 videos that are closer, 45 minutes or something like that? I don't know what the exact split would be, but let me know. I'll also put up a poll on my channel just to see what people would prefer, and I'll just go with the majority based on responses, and we'll kind of take it from there. But yay, going to the finals. We're going to see how that works out. I will try to get that out very soon. There's still a lot more content. There's a good little backlog here, which is kind of saving me because life is getting ahead of me, and I'm not recording a lot of content right now. But we'll be back. I will start to do the live streams again. I'm missing you guys. I'm missing hanging out with you guys and doing the live streams for tournaments. Those are super fun. It will eventually start to feel like I can do this again. But thanks for sticking it out. Thanks for being here. Remember to like the video if you haven't done it. Subscribe. If you're all the way here at the end and you're listening to all this and you're not subscribed, what are you even doing? Just go ahead and click that button. And yeah, you'll see me again soon.